Hi, I'm Vinny Devaya. I'm the CEO and founder of TeleportMe.com, the number one rated virtual tour creator by G2 in 2022. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the Trisio camera. If you're following us on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook group, you will know that we are one of the first marketing partners of the Trisio camera. In today's video, I wanted to really talk about the pros and cons of the camera. This is really important for me because a lot of people have been asking for my honest opinion on what the camera is good for, what the camera is bad for, and whether they should invest in the camera or not. All disclaimers, ahead is that we do work with them. We are their marketing partner, but I also have a huge amount of responsibility towards my customers and towards the viewers of this YouTube channel. So keeping that in mind, I wanted to kind of list out the pros and the cons of the camera so that you can make an informed decisions. One of the first cons, so I'm going to start with the cons, come right out of the bat with the bad stuff. The first con is it doesn't do video. So if you are a prosumer, which is somebody who likes to take 360 videos of your vacation, or maybe just want to experiment with 360 videos, this is not the right camera for you. It only does 360 photos. Second, it's not very good in places that have a lot of moving objects. What do you mean by that? It means you are not, if you want to take 360 panoramas of bustling places that have a lot of people, this is not a great camera for that. Because the way this camera works, it's got a rotator, so it kind of moves around, and when it takes the photos, you'll find a lot of ghosting and blurring, and so it's not the best camera for that. The third thing that I think may be an issue is that it's got a mechanical rotator. What that means is that it's got to like spin around, and so that usually could have some issues long term. So these are the three big cons that I can think of about the camera. If I had to really push, if I had to push really hard and say, okay, what else could I think of that would not be a good thing about the camera? I really would have to say that maybe it is the unfamiliarity of the business, of the company, of the brand. A lot of you are working, if you're interested in the Ricoh or the Insta360, both of them are very new brands old brands, and so it's easier to trust them. It's easier to make a purchasing decision with them. It's easier to, if something goes wrong, there's kind of a mental peace where you feel like, okay, they're going to take care of it, And I think that's the only thing that I can think of. That's the last thing that I can think of is just brand equity. They don't have the brand equity yet. In the pros, I think that they have one of the easiest workflows that I have seen in any camera, from the ability to take a photo to the time it takes to get a very good HDR 8K resolution photo out that can be used in a virtual tour. That workflow is super quick, super fast, and super efficient. This means that if you're a serious virtual tour photographer that is doing, I would say, low to mid-range kind of projects, this is perfect for you, especially if you're doing real estate and architecture and so on and so forth, because the workflow is so fast, you can get more done in less amount of time. The second thing that I think that is really good about this camera is I think that it's got phenomenal optics. So they have a couple of technologies. I think it's called the any-scene technology that really enhances the photographs even before you can get it onto your computer and edit it yourself. This is very remarkable. I mean, if you look at a lot of review videos from a lot of experts, you will see that there's a considerable better quality in tougher conditions from Trisio than from the other cameras. The third thing, in my opinion, which is a pro, is that it's not a dual lens camera. What that means is that you don't have to like put it there and then try to find a place to hide and then wonder, okay, like what's going on, With this, because it's rotating, you can stay in the same place. I've had this problem happen to me once. Is I had to keep a camera once, and I was doing this for a client, and I put my my Theta over there, and I had to go and hide to take the photo, and in that time, the the cat of the owner came and kind of like rubbed off the tripod. Luckily, nothing happened to the camera. It fell, but there was no scratches. Nothing happened. That was just brilliant. But I feel like that's kind of a huge advantage, that you don't have to run and hide. And when you're hiding, something could happen. Like if you are in a sort of a public space, then that becomes even more difficult to just leave your camera there and sort of go and hide, right? So I think that's one thing that I think is an advantage. The next thing I would say is the price point. It's a huge advantage for for a variety of reasons and for a variety of businesses. If you are a business or an agency that has 10, 15 agents that are working for you, and you need a few 360 cameras, this cost really adds up. Like if you're trying to go for a Z1, that's like $1,200 per camera. At $400, the Trisio Lite 2 is the most bang for buck value product that is there in the market today. And also it's great quality. So you're not missing out on too much by going with the Trisio Lite 2. So these are the pros and cons, in my opinion. Another pro is the team is phenomenal behind the Trisio Lite 2. So Ricoh, taking about Insta360, when they came into the market, they were a relatively new company. The Insta360 was their first product, and it was a startup. But Trisio Lite has been building cameras for the last 7 years now, and this is their first like single lens camera that's coming out. So you can tell that that's the reason why the quality is so good right out of the bat. It's not like an MVP. It's a great quality product because the team behind it has a lot of experience building camera products. And this for me is really important because it's very rare that you have a camera company bringing a camera, introducing a new camera into the market at this price point that has so much experience behind them. This means that this is just a teaser. Their next cameras are going to be better, and they're going to be higher resolution and higher outputs and so on and so forth. So from a camera and a team perspective, I really think that they have the vision, they have the technology. Whether the market gets to them or not, whether they're able to capture enough market where this becomes interesting for them, that is still yet to be seen. But I think from an execution perspective, I think they're very good. So I hope these points have been made it very clear as to why I recommend the Trisio Lite 2 to a lot of my customers, especially customers there are two kinds of customers that I typically tend to recommend this to. First is somebody who's really starting into the virtual tour business. Like he or she has no idea what to do. They just bought our software. They're learning how to do it. They don't want to spend too much money on a Theta Z1 or an X Phase or one of those big high resolution cameras or a DSLR, but they want like a very good value. The Trisio Lite 2 is the product I refer to. And the second are agencies and larger companies that have a lot of agents, a lot of photographers working for them, and they want to have 10, 15 devices on hand for these agents. So when you look at that kind of volume, a good price point really helps. And so I always recommend Trisio Lite 2 for those kind of customers. So if you fall in those two buckets, I think that it's a great camera to really get into. But if you're somebody like a few friends that I have who like to collect cameras, definitely check it out and see if you like what it does and you want to try it out. It's at a great price point. And if you are watching this video during our campaign, go to trisio.teleportme.com. We are providing great deals on the Trisio camera. The prices of which are going to be something that are going to be crazy. They're going to come out tomorrow or day after. So by the time you watch this video and by the time you go to the website, I think you'll have all the information. Well, that's it from me, and stay safe.